Hello you guys, this is Fernando the Vintage Collector 2000 on Gemmy Collectors Unite, and today I'm going to show you something that's very common and something that meant to me a lot as a kid during the past years. Well, 8 years actually, but I never actually owned him, but I actually own a different one, which is a Woodstock, but I'll get that to in a minute. I used to have him, but I'll get that to in a minute, but first, let's just get on to the item itself. Anyways, this is a Gemmy animated Frosty the Snowman with the glittery holding a snowflake that has the short hat and the red string and the glittery snowflake. I know he was sold for like 2 seasons actually. In 2011 they redesigned, they updated the item. They changed that. There have been a few changes with this guy, and also in 2012, there have been changes with him. First of all, they brought him back, except he had a yellow string, and he had a taller hat, and he had no glittery snowflake. And in 2012, he had one of the newer scarves and a plush fabricated snowflake and a different audio and soundtrack of Frosty the Snowman. But I am interested, but it is rare, but at the same time, I don't like the recording on this one. It was sold at Home Depot. But this guy was sold in places like Bed Bath & Beyond, and I believe Lowe's carried him at the time. And I know Home Depot had him at least, I think in 2010. I'm not sure. I don't know, because I think I saw him with a couple of people shopping at Home Depot, and I saw him there in the video, and I was expecting them to play him, but nonetheless, I don't know. On the bright side, at least I have him, and I'm really happy. But this one has like different program and synchronization. As always, if you know, in the earliest ones from 2008, whenever the first thing you press him, he would move, but on this one, whenever you press him, he doesn't move. But then whenever he says Frosty the Snowman, that's when he moves. But then, when it says with a corncob pipe, he would stop. But then the one from 2008 to 2009, whenever you press him, he would move. But then at the end, whenever it says into eyes me out of cold, that's when he stops. But then whenever he says thumpity thump thump, that's when he moves. But then at the end, but the one from 2008, it actually continues to move. No. I mean. But whenever he says over the hills of snow, that's when he stops. But whenever he says Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way, he continues, he moves, but then whenever he says don't you cry, that's when he stops. That's when he stops moving. But then at the end, he'll say, I'll be back on Christmas Day. That's when he moves, and then he stops. But on this particular model, with a corncob pipe and a button nose, that's when he stops. But then he would just, whenever the children say somebody something, that's when he moves. But then the Jimmy Durante would say, look at Frosty go. That's when he stops moving. But then the children say somebody some. That's when he moves. But then the Jimmy Durante would say over the hills of snow. That's when he stops. Then whenever he says Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way, that's when he moves. But whenever he says Betty wave goodbye saying don't you cry, that's when he doesn't move. But then at the end, it's the same thing as the other one. He says I'll be back on Christmas Day. That's when he moves. You get the different synchronization. But I'll get to the other item. I'll try to do a duet once I get the one from 2008. But the one from 2008 has like more of a muffler audio. The one from 2009 has like a clear audio, especially this one, and the one from 2011. The 2008 model has like more of a muffler audio. And plus, the 2008 models don't break, which I'm surprised anyway. Anyways, just get to the start. So when I was 8 years old, I used to have the Woodstock. I had two of them actually. The one I had, the first one, it was when he was still activated. I took him out of the box. But then when I wanted to play him again, the Woodstock actually, the button quit working. So basically, my parents exchanged for another Woodstock, but this time I didn't play him when we took him out of the box. But then 5 days later, he quit working. So I haven't had one since then that moved like this until I found one like this one on eBay in April of 2018 for $19 and $2 shipping. When I first received him, he actually when I first received him, he wasn't moving, but it turns out it was a split 9-tooth gear. But I used an 8-tooth, but then the rubber belt for this guy was yellowed, so I decided to replace the belt today. And the button on mine quit working the first day. But don't worry, I went inside and fixed his button, and he works absolutely fine. But speaking of Frosty, me and my mom went to Bed Bath & Beyond this since December, and we found him. I don't know if that one was an old stock item or not, but we just found him. It was the last one. This guy had like a muffler audio. I don't know if it was an old stock item, but this time my mom wouldn't let me buy him because the button would just keep breaking. So I just walked away without the item. I was very sad. But don't worry, I have him now at least. But the good news is, I already replaced the belt. He does make a little noise, because that's just because of the 8-tooth gear I just installed. But don't worry, he'll last. Anyways, enough of me talking, so let's just get to it.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul, with a corncob pipe and a button stove, and two eyes made out of coal. Thumpity thump thump, thumpity thump thump. Look at that frosty goat. Thumpity thump thump, thumpity thump thump. Over the hills of snow. Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way, but he waved goodbye, saying, "Don't you cry. I'll be back on Christmas Day."
Well, he works absolutely fine, like I said. I'm really proud of myself for sewing him up still. And he takes like 3 AA batteries, not 2 AA batteries, 3 AA batteries, just like a traditional dancing hamster. But this guy's built with screws, like I mentioned. Or, I don't know. It's been like 8 minutes already. So, yeah, let's just play him one more time. And we'll give you a close-up look.
Happy birthday! Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul, with a corncob pipe and a button stove, and two eyes made out of coal. Thumpity thump thump, thumpity thump thump. Look at that frosty goat. Thumpity thump thump, thumpity thump thump. Over the hills of snow. Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way, but he waved goodbye, saying, "Don't you cry. I'll be back on Christmas Day."
And let's just give you a close-up look. Here are the eyes. Scarf. Scarf is a little darker. You might think it's dark, but you might think it's the color's darker, but that's actually the quality of the camera. Here's the glittery snowflake. The 2011 model doesn't have the glittery snowflake, but this model actually has glitter. See? There's glitter. And there's his Jeep head. There's the hat. It does have a bit of stains, but it's not noticeable on camera. He actually had stains right here, but that's also unnoticeable. I'm lucky. But I did see the 2009 model of this guy on eBay, except the plastic was yellow. That's the thing with 2009 models. Well, Frosty's actually. The plastic on them yellow out so badly. I'm not sure, but let's still look on the bright side. At least he works. It's been 10 minutes already in the video. Well, hope you enjoyed him, and thank you for watching.